everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are someone new here, hi, my name is Neha and I make videos on tech. In today's video, we are going to learn how to build a ReactJS application which is in front of you. What we are doing here is, this is the list of dummy data. It can come from an API or you can have it as in hard-coded. You will use this data to create a grid as you can see on your screen. Then you can select any of these items. On selection of the item, the delete button will get activated. Otherwise, it will remain disabled. You can see I'm trying to click on the product number 2 delete button, but nothing is happening. But I can go on product 3 because this is selected and I can delete it. As well as what I can do is, I will just refresh to show you again. I can also do the sorting. This sorting will definitely gonna work. Like if I will delete this sorting will still work. As well as I added a search functionality on the name, so you can do the searching also. So this all we are gonna build today and we are gonna learn. Now the good thing about this demo is definitely you are gonna learn ReactJS, but there are few very interesting concepts which are very crucial when you are going for an interview or you are building ReactJS application, to learn that and to basically have hands-on experience. And also, if you will stick till the end of this video, there is one very buggy and very important ReactJS behavior which I wanted to highlight in this while doing this coding demo, so that you can in future avoid that buggy or bug basically for that. And yes, a huge shout out to the person who actually requested to build this demo. One of the subscriber in one of my video of ReactJS, he actually gave this scenario and on his request I made this. So yep, let's start and see how we are gonna learn this and build this. Before we start with the coding part, the first thing we need to do as a developer to think about the problem on a whiteboard or a paper. As a developer, we are always excited to start writing the code. But the best practice is, before writing your first line of code, you need to do brainstorming. Now, why that brainstorming is important? The reason is because this brainstorming will help you to understand first how many components we are going to build, how the flow of the data would be, how we are going to arrange the whole project, and the most important is what are the steps we have to take. And this whole thing will also help you to understand the scope and the time your project or your story is gonna take. I myself have seen the benefit of doing this, so I will highly encourage you to please do this exercise also. Now in front of you, I am using tldraw.com. It's a collaboration tool and you can see I have drawn some boxes here. So basically this is our search and this is our grid or list, whatever you want to call it. Within that we have some data coming. Now I know that I'm gonna have a component search, then I'm gonna have this component. Now because we are gonna work on ReactJS, I cannot make one huge component. That's not a great practice. It's not just about ReactJS, it's the programming fundamentals also. So I have to break this whole big component into subcomponents. So what components are gonna be this? I'm gonna work on. So now I have this heading of every column. So this could be one component or I can merge it. That's a separate thing. But I see that I have a button delete here. I have a button here price for sorting. So I have another component button. I have one component search here. Then I have checkbox here. So this checkbox could be another component. And then what I can do is this whole content, product 1, 1, 2, 3, this information of product which is coming, it would be coming from a dynamic data or dynamic or an API. So I will be using that API to render my LI. So this would be a separate component altogether. And then at the end, I will have a big component, one parent component where I will be assembling everything. So now you can see that at higher level, I'm able to understand that how many components I need. But now the second step is optimizing it. What I means is that now look at search. I know when I will be creating the search component, it would be input type search. The checkbox is also input type checkbox. So what I can do is, instead of creating two separate components, I can make one component and I can change the type with the help of the props and make it behave like a search or a checkbox. So what I did, instead of creating two separate components, I end up creating only one component of input. Same I am doing here for the button, and this is how I am looking at the optimization now. Now another part is now events and data flow. What I meant by event is, when I'm gonna click on sort or when I'm click on delete, where I'm gonna keep the logic of these functionality, how the data is gonna flow, where the API data would be, how it is gonna go down the my project. So my data will always be on the top parent component, and that parent component will be responsible for this sort and this delete also. So my parent component will be the one source of truth for the whole data and event, and everything will be flowing down. Now why? The reason is because in my parent component, this search box will be coming. These all components will be coming together. So instead of making my data available at some internal components, the best practice in ReactJS is state lifting. So we will be using that and lifting the state up. Hence, it will be on the top. Otherwise, it would be very hard. So what I'm trying to say here is, let me see if I can draw. Yeah. So this would be the whole component, the whole application will look like at the end. The compensation will be done like this. The search and this component, which is made of multiple components, will be coming together. So my data, my list data, my events, everything should be at the parent level so that the data management would be easier. So you can see that by just spending some time on a whiteboard or paper pen, you can think a lot about how your code is gonna be, how your application layout would be. Now let's talk about that. What are the steps we are gonna take? So the first step we have to do is install ReactJS. Then for styling, we are gonna use Tailwind. So install Tailwind. So it is done. Then what we are gonna do is, we are gonna create the components. Now we just discussed about the components. So first will be button. The second would be input. And then what we will be doing is, we will be creating a list item. Then we will be creating a list component, or whatever you want to call it, grid or whatever. And then what we are gonna have is, we are gonna also have a search component. And then what we are gonna do is, once we have our components ready, our layout is there, then we will start adding the functionality and the state. The first one is the selected item. So whenever we are gonna select any item, we need to maintain the state of that how many items we have selected. Now why? The reason is because when we are selecting any item, there are few changes which will happen. The first is, which is a cosmetic change, we need to highlight that particular row in a specific color to show the row has been selected. Second, this delete button will get enabled so that we can delete that particular row. Third thing is, if we will do this deletion, it means this whole list will get re-rendered again because product 1 has been removed. So these are the things we have to do, and we have to keep a track that what products have been selected. So we need to manage the state of that. Okay. And then we are gonna manage for the deletion also, the delete event. And then we are also gonna manage the sort, and we are also gonna manage the search. So these would be the last one we are gonna handle. So this would be the flow. Now let's move to the code side. In the code, I have already installed the ReactJS. What I did is, I just use create React app and it is working fine. The next step is Tailwind CSS. So for Tailwind CSS, it's pretty simple. You need to go to the docs, go to the framework guides. Here you will see create React app. This is what we are using. I don't need to do the first step because I have already installed. I need to start from here. which is installation. What I will do is I will come here in the new terminal, run the commands. Meanwhile, I will copy this configuration. So all you need to do is just follow the step what is given in Tailwind CSS. This config will be get created, but I need to paste what I copied from there. So that is done. Now in index CSS, I need to put these files. I'm sorry. So let's go to index CSS. On the top, I need to have these classes. Perfect. This is done. And then all I need to do is npm run start, and my everything will start working. So right now I'm not using any Tailwind CSS class, so it's okay. We won't be able to see any change right now. As we will start coding, then we will start using it. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me go back to my TLDR. So step 1 is done, step 2 is done. Now we are on step 3. So start writing the code. So the first thing is we need a components folder. And I'm gonna create my input.jsx. Input. Okay, now let's talk about the props which we are gonna use. So I already know that type. We discussed about that we need to have type. And the another one is the handler, change handler. So that whenever any event is happening, what we want that we need to have from the props. So we are gonna have our type and change handler, which will be on change. So we will keep it here. Okay. So this is done. Now I will copy paste. I will be a smart developer rather than writing everything from the scratch. I will just copy this and change few things. Button. And now here I'm gonna change this. I will say button and button. Now let's talk about the props here. So first thing is we need the button label, and instead of change handler, it would be a click handler, that when we are clicking on the button. So these two I will be putting here. Okay, now if you remember, I said that by default this button will be disabled. So I need this prop also. So I will be having it here, disabled. So whatever the true or false we will be getting, we can have it here. So this is our button is ready. Okay, perfect. Let's close this. Now let's come to the list item.jsx. Let me put it here. List item. Let me remove. Okay, here let's talk about this one. So here for now, we don't know what we are gonna return from here. We will talk about this once we will reach there. So as of now, I will just keep it like this. So let's close this, copy this, come outside of the components, and I'm gonna create my grid.jsx. This is I think I created inside it. Move to trash. Let's come to the source, create. Okay, now here let's start writing our code. What it is gonna return, I will just explain you in a while. We will talk about that. Okay, so the first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have import input. Okay, now this input is what I'm doing is I'm first making this search box. So this search and this our table will come in one component, which is grid. So let's write input. The type is search, and change handler I haven't created right now, but I will do it in a while. Okay, this is done. Because I'm gonna have multiple items here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write section. I'm gonna wrap it into a parent. So this is input. Now I'm gonna have my that list table would start from here. So I will have another section like this, and then what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have my UL here. Now in UL I need the data to be present so that my LIs can be created. So now let's talk about the data part. As of now I'm not gonna do a API request. At the end I will share the content with you for the API request, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a fake data. So I will create const, let me just, yeah, this one I do have handy with me. So this is our mock data, and now what I'm gonna do is let's go back here. As I told you, the data, we need to manage this data, the state of the data, for ample reasons. The first reason I already explained you with the selection, then deletion, then price. Though right now I have a hard coded data, but when we will be having API data, again we need to have the state. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import useState from React, and I will come here inside my component and I will say products, set products, and I will set my this mock data as the initial state. Okay, so now in products I have this whole data coming. Now this is a UL where my list will be created. So I want to now create my list. So I will say create product list. And it will return us. What it is gonna return us? First it will map over the product. It will pick every item, and then what it is gonna return us. Now here instead of doing li only here, what I'm gonna do is this list item component which I created here, that I'm gonna use. Now why we are doing it? Let's go back again to our diagram. If I'm gonna create the whole li and everything in the same component, we are not following ReactJS way of writing the code. We need to break every component into the smallest one. This is the first thing. Second thing is I want the state of every li to be separate. Otherwise what will happen, whenever this component will be re-rendered, whenever the state will change, it will force all the li to be changed. So it would be very tightly coupled. So that's why every li will be a separate component, so that I can manage their state individually, that which li got selected, which li got deleted. All these things can be handled. So that's why now what I'm gonna do is, the first thing is I'm gonna import my list item. List item from components list item. Okay, and this will be here written. Now here we will pass every product we are getting. Okay, let's close it, but let's go back to our list item, and now here in the prop we are gonna receive our product. And now here what we are gonna do is, here also we have to do const create list item, because this is an object, we are gonna receive an object, so we have to create our li from it. So now here return li product dot name, and then this create list item we can use it here, and we can call it like this. What is the problem? Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, I need a this is JSX, so I have to have a tag around this. Okay, so this is done. Now let's come here. We will use create product list here, but we are gonna have a check that only when we have products, then this component, this code should run. Now for this change handler, right now this is giving us an error. So for time being, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say const. This is for search. So search handler, and I'm just gonna say console.log in. This is just, we are gonna come to it, but not right now. Perfect. Okay, so this is done. Now in our app.js, we are gonna remove all this. We don't need this whole code here, header and all that. We are gonna remove this. We are gonna remove our logo. We are not using it. We are gonna import our grid component. Let's put it here. And let's see if we can see something on our web page. Yeah, our product 1, product 2, product 3, product 5, everything is coming. It means is that our whole code is working, but the UI is not there. So now what we are gonna do is, I will close app.js. We don't need it right now. We will focus here. Now why we focus here? Because we have to add our checkbox. We have to use prices, our button, everything. So we will focus on our list item right now, and I will remove, not remove, I will delete, close our grid component also. So on list item, now we will focus on creating our one li. So let's do import input from input. Similarly, import button from button. Now let's focus on our li. This is where we have to create our JSX. So I will have first container input div, sorry. In this we will have our let's forget div as of now. I will show you that why we need this. But input type, this is checkbox. So checkbox, and we need a change handler here. We will put it in a while. So this is done. Okay. Now next we want product name. Then next we want price. So price, and then we need button. So button label, delete, and we have what we have, the next one, click handler, and we have disabled true. Okay, perfect. And now let's create this change handler and click handler. Now there are two things. What we can do is, we can go to our parent component, and here we will create it. So no, not this one. I will use search handler, and this is your delete product, and this is our select product. Okay, so I will just change it, delete select. And now this delete and select can be go here. So what we can do is, in our list item, we can pass change handler, not change handler, we can say select handler. Oh gosh, I don't know why select handler. Delete handler, let's change to select. So these events from our parent component are going to list item, and in our list item we can receive this like this, and then this is our select, so we can use it here, and this is our delete, we can use it here. So from our parent component they are coming here, we are going to make them run, we are going to execute it, but in a while. Okay, so instead of writing this select, delete, everything here, we are making our parent component to take care of that. So the whole logic would be on our parent component, and our state is also at parent component of our products. So the management would be very easy. And if you will see, list item is a very clean component now. Okay, all it is doing is it is taking the state from the top and selection and deletion logic from the top. So it is not handling anything as such. So now you can see your somehow UI is coming. Okay, so your checkbox is coming, you have a delete button which is not looking great, but we are going to work on that. So this is done. Now let's talk about the styling part. We will put a little bit of styling so that at least it should look presentable for a while. So for button, we will start with the button first. We are already using the Tailwind, so we are going to use class name, and the class we are going to use is, we are going to say I want a rounded button, so medium. I want a padding of 2, the text should be small, and the BG should be, as of now I will put it BG green 400. Okay, and let me format this so that it would be readable. Let's go back, and you can see the styling is coming. Our style sheet, our Tailwind is working fine. Okay, let me close this for now, and let's go to the, which one shall we go? We should go for the input. Let's focus on the input, that how we are gonna have this. So here, sorry, so class name again, and what I want is, I want a border first, so border slate 600. I want padding to be 2. That's it. I think this is enough. Let's go back, refresh. PX, it should be PY. Let's see if we can see some change. Inspect, I don't see so the class names are coming. I don't know if the padding is getting, so padding I can see here, I'm not able to see much difference. Okay, no worries, we will deal with this later on. One more thing, where is my search box? So my search box is not coming here, so let's go back to the grid, and this is my input type search change handler. So class name, oh okay, so in Tailwind your border will not be visible unless and until you have the border width set. So this is the one thing we need to do, that we need to set the border width also. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pass border 2. So now you can see it is coming. So I'm pretty sure here it is on checkbox, this class is not reflecting, we will look at later, but you can see that our search box is coming. Okay, so yeah, perfect. Okay, so input I will close, grid as of now. Okay, now let's talk about here. So class name, I will have a container and max auto. Let's see, we won't see any changes, but I need to delete some CSS from here also. So let's delete it, and now you can see everything is aligned here because I did few changes. I removed the default CSS of ReactJS. Okay, now let's move and focus towards how we can make this to come in a row. So for that, let me go here. This is section, this is UL. So the first thing I need to have is display flex. Okay, this is done, but now it is coming like this. I want it in a column. So what I need to do is, now I need to go inside my li, or can I do flex direction. Now, so this is fine. This is li. And instead of here, okay, let me do it here. Actually, it would be faster. So here what I want is every item to be a flex. So let me put a flex here. Let's go. Okay, and go to grid. Here I want a class name flex. Yeah, perfect. Now I want the spacing, so let's come here, and now what I want is a container. So what I will do is div, this would be a container. I will put this also in a container. So every cell will have a container basically. So div, and this div. Okay, now we want spacing between each. So class name, and we can have padding 2 for the spacing. Perfect. Let's go. Okay, so looks like okayish. Looks like styling wise it's fine. We will fix rest of the things later. Okay, now let's go back to our coding. So our CSS as of now is done, but let's go back to here. So what we have done, first step done, second step done, third step is done. What is left is now events like selected item, deletion, sort, search. So these are the things we have to now start taking care of. So the first thing which I want to check is, right now if you will see, we have all these handlers already there, and I have a console here. So the first check would be, are these working or not? So let's click. So right now this button is not working. My console, my search is working, my selection is also working, but this button is not working. So let's start with the selection, and then when we will reach to the deletion part, at that time we are gonna see. Okay, so whenever I am clicking on any input, any checkbox, I am getting my event handler run. But when I am clicking any particular product, I need to know which product I am selecting. The reason is because I need to manage the state of that, so that I know that how many product has been selected. So for that, the first thing I need to do is create a state, selected products, set selected products, use state. This is at my parent component level. Initially it is blank. Now what will happen, how this is gonna work? So whenever I am gonna select any item, this would be a list item component. My handler is gonna run on the selection. This will pick this product information, and with the help of my event handler, it will send this information to the parent component. So what we are doing is, we are doing a child to parent communication here, so that we can get to know when the event happened in the child component, and we can send the information that which product got selected. Okay, so the same thing, that's what we are doing. So here for us, this is our select product is the event handler which we are using here. Okay, now what I need to do is, I need to send the product information. So what I can do here is, I can just send as a like this. Now here in my select, it should be received. So product, and what I will do is, I will just do a console here for this. Let's put it here. Go back to the code, refresh, clean console, and you can see we are able to get the product information. There is another way of doing it. Instead of passing it like this, what I can do is, I can create a function here and say const select item handler, and within that I can call this here and this would be available here. So you can do this also. Now which one to do when? Right now our requirement is we just need to pass only one product information. So we can use the first approach. But if you have more things to take care, like setting the states, doing some work before you are setting the data to your parent component, this approach would be better. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I will keep it like this. I will comment this out for reference, and that's it. Okay, so let's check if everything is working. This time I'm gonna select 4, working fine. Now I got this at my parent level, so now I can go on use my state and select it, set the state here. Okay, so state has been set. So my selected product state has been set. I can if I want to access my selected products, these can be accessible here. So again, refresh. We will fix this warning in a while. As of now, just focus on the functionality. Okay, so now second part of this is, once I am selecting any item, the class should change, as well as if you will see right now the button is disabled, but it is a green color. So we also need to change that functionality. So these are the two things we need to do. The moment our item is getting selected, the color of the row should change and the button should also change. So for that, what we are gonna do is we are gonna play with our class's name. Okay, but before that, what we need to do is we need to set a state to know if an item has been selected or not. So let's come here and we will say is item selected, set item selected, and by default it would be false. Okay, so I need to import state also. Import view state from React. Perfect. Now what we are gonna do is we are gonna check this state and we are gonna change the color of this li row, as well as whenever the state is getting selected, we are gonna update the state. So let's start from here. The first thing we need to do is, because now we are working on with dynamic classes, so let's have curly brackets, backtick, this is flex, and then what we are gonna do is we are gonna say is item selected. If it is yes, then bg red 200, this is the class we want to add. Otherwise there won't be any class. Okay, and because how we will get to know the state has been changed, so we have to bring back this and we are gonna do the state change here, and we are gonna say that is item selected, so it will always do the opposite. And now we can go back here and do this. Okay, so let's go back, refresh it once again, and let's select, and you can see our class name is, our li is now changing the color. So perfect, this is done. Okay, now let's talk about the button. So this is the button. By default we have set disable true, and if we will go to the button, it is saying disable true, but the color problem is here. So now here again what we have to do, same like what we did with li, we are gonna have curly brackets, backtick, we will have all the classes, but we are gonna check the value of this disable. Okay, so we are gonna use dollar, and we are gonna say if it is disabled, then the class should be bg gray gray 200, otherwise it would be bg green. And seems like I did some typo somewhere, so let's try to figure it out where I have done that. Oh, this one. Okay, so let's go back. Now you can see it is gray by default, which is disabled, Now when I click, it should change the color, which it is not, because I am not changing the value here. So now what I have to do is I have to also take the change the disable value, so that we get to know that the button value has been changed or not. So that particular state change also I have to start doing. So for that, what we can do is we can do again the same thing. Wait, let me format this. Here when we are passing the value, we can check here that if the item is selected. So if the item is selected, then it means it should not be false, otherwise it should be true. Okay, let's go back and let's check, and you can see now this is working fine. Okay, let's click and we can see the delete event is also coming. So perfect. Okay, so this is done. Now one more thing I want to do is I want to see if my selected products are there or not. So what I'm gonna do is whenever I'm gonna click on delete product, I want to see my selected products list. Okay, so let's go back, refresh, let's select 1, 3 and 5, delete this, clear the console, and let's click on delete. So right now it is only giving me the last product. The reason is because we haven't actually managed the state. So because we already clicked on product 1, then 2 and then 3, now whenever I am setting my state, it is only picking the last one. So to fix this, what we have to do is we have to merge our states. For merging the state, what we have to do is we have to take our previous state and the current product which we are selecting and merge them together. So that is the change we have to do. So here where we are setting the state, here we are going to do this change. So the previous is previous selected previous products, basically previous products. Then there will be a call our fat arrow function array, because now we are merging. So previous products again, and I did a typo, so let's copy from here and here. Okay, so this is what we are doing, is the merging of the state. Let's go back, let's again do it. Something is previous products, product, what I did. Let's see where I did the mistake. So set selected products, in that we have previous products, and then we are doing a merging, which is absolutely fine. Let me do one thing. Yeah, default state of array. Yeah, perfect. And now, and you can see all our 3 products are coming. So the error, why that error was coming, let me talk about that. So what is happening is this is an object, this is an object. I need an array. I'm clubbing all the object into within an array. So I have to set my default state that it would be a array. So that's why, which I missed, that's why it was giving me an error. Okay, so what we have done, the selection part is done. We have a state for that. Our styling is changing as per that. Our delete handler is working, but the functionality is not working. Now the functionality is whenever I click on delete, this list should re-render. That item should be removed and this list should be re-rendered. So how we are going to do that? Let's go there and understand. So for that, what we have to do is we need to do 2 things. The first thing is we need to see that which item we have deleted, update our selected products also, because from the selected products it should be removed, as well as we need to compare it with the products, and from there also it should be removed so that it could be re-rendered with the only items left. So we have to do 2 things here. So let's go to the delete functionality, which is our delete handler here. And I'm gonna copy paste this, and I'm gonna have delete item handler. And what it will do is, we are not talking about the select state right now. We just need to pass this product to our parent component. That's it. This is what we want to do. And let's close this. Let's come here, and in our delete I will just have my product now. Refresh, remove it. Product 3 information is coming, it means it is working fine. So now I have my product which I want to delete. All I need to do is take this product, go to my selected products, search there and filter out. So I already know that if I need to remove item 3, I already have that information. I will go to my select products, I will search for that item 3, I will remove that, and I will left with only those items which I required. And then those items I will check within my product state and return those only item. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So here in delete, now let's start writing the code. So how we are gonna get, what we are gonna check, we are gonna check our ID, product ID. So all the work is gonna happen on the product ID. So I will write update selected items. This is the selected products, and we are gonna use filter on this. And what we will take one item, and we are gonna compare item.id is not equal to product.id. And let's do what this is. Let's see what this is gonna do. We will have console.log here. Okay, so let's go back, refresh. We are gonna select 1, 3, 5. So 1, 3, 5 right now is in our set selected products state. I'm gonna delete product 3. So now you will see only you are left with product 1 and product 5. So if you will come back here to understand what is happening, whenever we are clicking on delete product, we got which product we want to delete. We will go on our selected products state. We are gonna use the filter function of JavaScript. What filter does it? If this will, right now we are saying that only return when the item ID and product ID should not match. So it will only return those values whose item ID is not equal to product ID. So in our case, selected product state was having product 3 and it got matched. So it has been removed from our updated selected items, and we are only left with the two, product 1 and product 5. And this is what we wanted. This is how we are deleting. So now we have a state available to us. So all we need to do is just go back and update our state with this. So instead of console log, I think this is the one, yeah. So let's update. Now why we need to update this? Because selected product would still be having product 3 which we just deleted. So we need to update that in set selected products. Now we just need the updated select items. So now selected products is updated one. But if you will go back, now refresh, and if you will do product 1, 3, 5 and delete it, it is not re-rendering our list. It is not updating our list on our UI. Why? The reason is because we still need to update products. Product is still dependent upon this data. So we need to go and tell that you need to remove this also. So now for that, we need to write the same function what we just wrote, but we need to do little bit of change. So it is updated selected items. What we will do is we will say updated products items, not items, in fact it's a list. We are updating the list. Okay, and then what we are gonna do is we are gonna do the same thing, that take this products here, filter, and just return that which items are, oh I think I did changes at a wrong place. Yeah, so let's take products here. Yeah, here. So it will do the same thing again. We will repeat, we will end up with update product list. All we need to do is just use our set products and update the state there. So let's go and update it here. Let's see if it is working. So 1 3 4, I will delete 3 and you can see it is gone. I will delete 1, you can see it is gone. I will delete 5, it is gone. So this is how you can do it. Okay, let's do 1 2 3 times random testing, so we are sure that it is working. I'm gonna delete 4. Can you see there is a bug coming? So what is happening is I'm gonna delete product 4 and you will see the selection is going to the product 5. Now why this is happening? So this is a very interesting bug. The reason why this is happening is because we haven't passed any key. When your ReactJS work and under the hood it tries to re-render our content or our data, what it does it with the help of the key, it tries to optimize everything. Right now what we have done here is, when we are creating the list item, we haven't passed the key, so we need to pass that. So we are gonna say key product dot id. So this is the one thing, and within our list item we need to use this key for our every li. So here in here we are gonna use the key equals to product dot id. Let's refresh and let's see if it is gonna fix our problem. I will just go here and now you can see it is working. So if I will say product 4, delete, you can see everything is working. Now let me do multiple selection. Okay, working. I will do product, not product 1, product 2, product 3, product 5. I'm gonna delete product 3. So product 2 and product 5 are still there. I'm gonna select product 1, product 3, product 4. I'm gonna delete product 4 and you can see product 1 and 3 is still selected. So this is working fine. And now you can see why we need this key here, because this is very important. If we are not gonna provide it, we are gonna have this buggy situation and we will be pulling our here that from where this particular issue is coming. Okay, so now again let's go back here and see what is left. So we are left with sort and search. So first let's focus on search. I will close list item. Our search is here, which is this one. So now instead of having a separate instead of having like input like this, I would prefer to have a search component. So search.jsx, and what I'm gonna do is I will move this from here, move it here, and I don't need this also here now. I will just move it out from here. Okay, and now let's create const search, a separate independent component which will be only responsible for the search, so that we can make it more reusable. Okay, export default search. And this will come from here, and let's go here on our parent component, import search, take this search to this place, Perfect. In our front end, there won't be any difference. So let's see. Okay, some import issue. Yeah, because it is in the same folder. So yeah, perfect. Now what we want to do is, whenever an event is happening, whenever we are doing an event in our search, that search term should come here. So we will have our search term, and what this search term is gonna do is that it will search in our data that where that particular data is, and it is gonna do the filtration on that. So we are gonna do this particular filtration, but let's first get our data from here. So this is search handler and this is going in input. So let's go here. Let me format this. So on change handler is coming here. So const input change. What we can do is, instead we can have e event we will be getting. So we can just get our e and pass it to our parent. Let me see. Let me just go here. We will be getting a e here. So e dot target dot value. Let's see. Yep. So what happened is, your change handler in React, the events are sugar, syntactical sugar, which means is that you don't need to pass information like this. This e event will be already available. So this e is actually I'm getting here, and e is your e dot target is basically the element where you are targeting or typing or doing interaction, and for us this is input. I just want to check the value of that, so that's why we are able to have the access of our search term. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a name, search term e dot target dot value. Perfect. And now we will start writing our logic here. So the logic here, what we are going to use for search is pretty simple. We already have our whole product data here. We are going to use the filter again, and we are going to use this filtration. The search will happen on the name or the price. On that we are going to set. So let's start. If search term is there, if basically it is not blank, then what we are gonna do is we are gonna const filter items or search filter items equals to products filter. It will take each and every item, and then what we are gonna do is we are gonna say item dot name. Everything should be lowercase and includes the search term to lowercase. Or if we want to add the price also, price search, that we can put it also again here. So price, we don't need this here. And then what we need to do is just take this set products and update the state. Else, if the search term is blank, then what we will be doing is we will be setting the state with our test data, the initial data which we will be having. Okay, so let's go back, refresh, and let's write okay. So some bug is coming, it is not working as expected. Let's see. Okay, so for the price we don't need a lowercase for sure, so we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. Yeah, this is the wrong one I did. Actually, I did this is the wrong one. So to string, because this would be a number, we need to do this includes search term. Okay, let's go back. Let's try. Why it is not able to search? It should be able to search name. Oh, so the problem here is this one. I am not doing any return. Yeah, so now you can see this is working. 3 I don't have, so this is on price. This is, so our product is working too. Our search is also working. So the only problem is I used the curly bracket, so it was not returning me the result. That's why. So now you can see this is working fine, but our styling is bit off. So let's focus on the styling now. First, let me format everything. Do I have a console anywhere? No. Okay, so let's start focusing on the styling part. So for the search, if you will see that it is very close to the border, I want to have a spacing here, so I will put classes, and I will have px2. Now the thing is, this classes needs to be accepted here so that we can have the merging. So we need to merge the classes. This is what we need to do. For that, all we need to do is, again we will come here in our classes name, come here, we will have curly brackets, backtick, and whatever the classes are coming, we will use it here. Let's go back, and you can see now it is working fine. Okay, we also need the space and the font size and all these things. We can do that. So that's what we are gonna start doing. So let me close everything. Let's go. Now this is just a styling part which I am doing. So this is flex. I'm gonna have some spacing, padding. I'm gonna have border bottom 2, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the width also to every cell. So I will start with 24, 24, 24. This is a width. So now you can see this is coming, but the product name is bigger. So let's have product name. We will make it 32. Perfect. This looks better now. And we can go to our list, and we can do the styling part there also. So here, and this is the one. This is, we can start fixing. We also need our column name. So what we can do is, we have search here. This is our section. Within this, we can start having our column names. So the first is select, then name, and the price, and then actions. Okay, so we are gonna have select, name, price, and here we are gonna have our actions. So let's go back, and you can see this is not looking good. The reason is obviously our look and feel is not great. I also need to wrap this in one more container, and now let's start giving our names here. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna start with our this container class name flex. We want everything in a row. I will give it a background color also. Here I need to start giving the width again and some padding. So padding will be 2, width is 24, and I can play with the font boldness, so semi bold, and this class can be repeated to every cell which we have created. Let's go back and see what is happening. They are coming next to each other, which is a weird thing. Let's see why this is coming next to each other. Because I have somewhere flex set up. Oh, this one. Yeah, now you can see this is fine. I want some margin top, so MT2. Let's see how it is coming. I can have more, so let's have 10. Perfect. Okay, there's basic CSS we can do right now. If you will see, this is not aligned. We can take care of that, but now you can see this is working fine. Yeah, perfect. Now the last thing which is left is the sort part. We need to do the sorting. 1 minute, sorry, this padding part is very very irritating. So the reason this is coming is because of this padding part on every cell. Let me just get rid of this. I think this will then make it aligned. No, so this is aligned, this is still not aligned. The reason is this is 24, fine. What is the size of this? Is this 24? Yeah, this is 24, that's why. So product name should be 32. Product name should be 32. Perfect. Now you can see this is aligned, and let's come here. If you don't want left and right padding, I still want my padding top, padding y axis. So I will have py2. Okay, perfect. This is looking good. Now I need a sort here so that we can do sorting. So here I can use this component for sort. Put it here. It won't look good as of now, but let me have this. And instead of delete, we will have sort item handler. And I don't need this disabled thing. We don't need it here. So that's it, and this will come from here, sort handler, sorry. It would be a prop. Oh, I'm my bad, I'm doing it at wrong place. Actually it should be at the parent level, my bad. So let's get rid of this. Let's go to the here. This is the price, so I'm gonna have button here. I need to import it too. So button, okay, button finally, and let's write the code for sort. Sort price. Now on sort price, what we need to do is whenever we are clicking on the button, all we need to do is we need to go on the product list and just compare the prices, and return it. That's it. This is what we want to do. So we can get rid of, we don't need any of these things. We don't need, as of now, we don't need this. What we are gonna do is const sorted products. We are gonna we need to merge the, we need to take the state of the previous one. So we are gonna have product list. So this is the products we need. So we are gonna have, let's go back here. This is the products we are gonna do, and on that we are gonna do sorting. We are gonna use the method sort, and then what we are gonna do is we are gonna say, we are gonna do if is sorted. I will come to this in a while. Is sorted, then return b dot price minus a dot price, else it will return the opposite of it. Okay, and once this is done, what we need to do is we need to update our products. So go here, pick our set products, okay, I'm at wrong place here, and take this sorted products, put it here. Now let's talk about this is sorted, why we are doing it, and where we have set. We haven't set it, but we are gonna have a boolean check here, const is sorted, set is sorted. Now why this is important? So that we can toggle. So first it would be increment, then it would be a decrement. So it will be a toggling phase. So that's why we required it. So initially it would be false. So this set is sorted. We need to update this also the moment we are doing any click. Now let's come here, and this is the event we are gonna pass here. Okay, this is a click handler. Perfect. Let's go back. I will just close, not close, but minimize it. And okay, so our toggling is not working. This is why I put actually this toggling part, but the funny thing is it's not working. The reason is because I haven't done the toggling part here. So now let's see. This is working fine. Okay, perfect. So what we have done is we have a working table. This data is coming from a fake, but you can use a use effect, do a API call, get the data and do the same thing. You can do the multiple selections. You can enable, disable the buttons. You can delete. You can sort. With sorting also everything is working. You can do the search. So everything is working fine. And this is how you implement. So let's go back and do a quick review. What we have done here is ReactJS installation, Tailwind we have used. We created the components. We did the selection, deletion, sort, search. We saw the white, what is the importance of doing the whiteboarding. We also saw one buggy problem of the key, that if you will not provide the key, then what will happen. We also saw that if you will not merge the states, then what will happen. We have also seen right now that if you will not do the toggling of the state, then your sorting will not work. So overall, we have learned a lot of good things from this one exercise. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what's the next thing you want to learn or know. I would be very happy to make such coding exercise. Either it's on Next.js, ReactJS, React Native, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, cloud related thing, anything. Just let me know and I will create something great on that. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.